All right. I think most people around the country understand and remember the impact that Pat Tillman's life has made on so many people. Pat's Run is such a Arizona-centric event. It is something that I've loved since its inception. It is just something you have to experience, and it gets bigger and better every year, and people love it. It is a fantastic experience of community. What a lot of people don't understand is the work that the Pat Tillman Foundation does. And I found out earlier this year that we were at KTAR News going to be associated with the Pat Tillman Foundation, and I was over the moon. I love this event, and we are absolutely honored at KTAR News to be a part of this. And joining us now to talk about it is their CEO, Dr. Katherine Steele. Dr. Steele, thanks for being on.
Thanks for having us, Mike. Always a pleasure.
It is. I can't wait to talk about this because the work you do, we always talk about the run because it's just an incredible experience and you make it better every year. But the work you do and what you've been doing for years and the influence on people's lives and what your scholars accomplish throughout their life. Can you tell us a little bit about the foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been 21 years since Pat lived, which is wild to think that time goes so fast. But in those 21 years, the foundation has invested in Tillman Scholars. Those are veterans, active duty, or military spouses that we select each year. To date, we've given out over $40 million in scholarship support, leadership development support, mentorship opportunities, event opportunities to these incredible Tillman Scholars that are carrying on Pat's legacy year in and year out. And, at the end of the day, that's what we get to do. We get to invest in leadership. And Pat was a leader. I think people in Arizona recognize that. And so it's a great way to stay connected to Pat and his legacy.
The quality of people that you have chosen, because I've met many of the scholars, and the fraternity that you have built with them as they stay connected and then they help each other and assist each other, and you do the same for them throughout the rest of their lives. This truly is an organization of leaders that is making a difference across the world.
Yeah, so true. We have nearly 1,000 Tillman Scholars to date, and they work, again, across the country and across different impact areas. They might be in education and law and medicine and healthcare and technology. At the end of the day, though, what they are doing, they're leading and they're making an impact, and that's what we get to be a part of. Incredible humans. I know you got to talk at Pat's Run to Zach Mead, a 2017 Tillman Scholar, April Crowell, a 2013 Tillman Scholar. We have actually right now in space a Tillman Scholar, Johnny Kim, who's on the ISS space station. So, again, when I say there are scholars everywhere, there are scholars everywhere carrying on Pat's legacy.
What is it like? Do you mind telling me what it's like informing the people that go through the process that they have earned a Tillman Scholarship? What is that experience like, making those calls or sending letters, that notification?
So I can tell you from personal experience, I actually in 2014 was selected as a Tillman Scholar. And when the foundation called me to let me know, it actually chokes me up a little bit now just thinking about it. I instantly started crying, and I think that's the sentiment across these phone calls that we get to make. We get to have this moment with a human that just wants to make a difference, and they feel seen for the work that they're trying to do in the world, and they feel fully supported in this moment. And I think they recognize, we're more than a scholarship organization, right? We are with these scholars for the duration of their leadership journey, and we want them to keep coming back and being a part of it. But, yeah, I was a hot mess when I found out, crying, oh, my gosh, thank you so much, completely overwhelmed by it. It's an incredible community to be a part of.
We were at the kickoff. We were able to go to the kickoff event and meet some of Pat's former teammates and some of his friends and the people that were kind of behind the idea of doing something that would be a legacy to his memory. But what it's become, do you think that any one of them would ever have expected that this would grow into the community event? I'm talking about Pat's Run specifically, that it's become?
Not at all. I mean, as an example, Perry Ettinger, who was one of Pat's trainers and friend, he was one of the co-founders. When they did the first Pat's Run, they were just trying to do something to honor their friend. And they thought, well, maybe a few hundred people will show up. And 5,000 people came that first year. And I think everybody was just blown away that it was not only a celebration, but a memorial, right? And a tribute to their friend, Pat. Now, 30,000 people. I talk to Perry pretty frequently, and he's like, he goes, I just never would have imagined. He goes, I knew how impactful Pat was in his own life, but to see that ripple effect, right, years later, generations later, is just phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, I think this year will be bigger and better than ever before.
Yeah, and Perry was a guest on the show, and that conversation about what everybody wants to know, what was Pat like? And I did not know Pat, but to hear everybody associated with him, I think that he would be so proud of this because it isn't about him, it's about the community. I hope that makes sense, that what you're doing with the Tillman Scholars and then the work they do is a tribute to Pat, but he would be happy that the work carried on and the leadership grows.
Yeah, Pat's brother-in-law, Alex Garwood, often says, right, we don't know what Pat would be doing if he was here with us today, but he surely would be leading somewhere. And I think what we get to see through these Tillman Scholars is examples of leadership, and maybe it would have been something that Pat would have done, who knows. But for us as Tillman Scholars, it's this sense of indebtedness, right, to Pat and his memory and the foundation to do the best we can in his memory day in and day out.
Before we get to how people can learn more about becoming a scholar or about the scholars, what can people do, number one? And number two, can you give us a little preview of what people can expect at Pat's Run this year?
Yeah, let's start with Pat's Run. So January 6th, we are going to be launching registration again for Pat's Run. So we hope everybody takes advantage of it. I will say I've seen the preview of the shirt this year, and it is the best one yet. So if that doesn't get people out, I don't know what will. We are going to have, again, we did this last year. It's going to be bigger and better, the Tillman tailgate after the race. So we want you to do more than just, go 4.2 miles and get a banana and a medal and leave. We want you to hang out. And so we're going to have music and food and activities and engagement. It really is going to be a community event. And we're hoping that we have, the largest numbers that we've ever seen show out and turn up for this. We're super excited. We're working on some fun surprises this year as well, hopefully by way of race starters. It's always a special moment, and there's nothing quite like crossing that 42-yard line and the chills that you feel in your body when you realize that you're just somewhere that Pat was.
Yeah, and what's incredible about that also is to watch families and small children that may not, obviously not having a memory of Pat, but running into that stadium and seeing the history there and being able to run onto a college football field. If you've got small children, that experience alone is so incredible to watch young kids enter that stadium at the end and be able to run across the 42-yard line. It's something unforgettable for them.
It truly is. And, we're obviously blessed, Coach Dillingham and his team were huge supporters last year. They'll be with us again this year, right? Those boys are at that Kids Run event. So it's a great moment to see them supporting this younger generation too. It's pretty phenomenal. And I think the thing is, like, if you can't come to Pat's Run and you're looking at other ways to support the work that we do here, you can always go to our website, pattillmanfoundation.org, read about our scholars, see what they're doing, find ways to volunteer and help us out. We're obviously coming up on Veterans Day, and it's a great opportunity for us to honor those who served, the sacrifices they've made, but also a reminder, right, that service doesn't end when that uniform comes off, and that's what these scholars are doing. They've already served. They're now continuing to serve in their communities. And if, you want to invest in leadership and you want to invest in these just incredible humans, go to our website, again, at pattillmanfoundation.org, and read our stories. And if you feel moved and connected, donate.
Well, all of us here at KTAR News and Arizona Sports, we are honored to partner with the Pat Tillman Foundation. It is great to talk with you, and I hope we do this more and more often as we lead up to Pat's Run and just educate people on the great work you have been doing and continue to do. It truly is an honor.
Oh, thanks, Mike. We love you and love the partnership, so really appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching The Mike Broomhead Show. Tap to watch and listen to the new season of Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast. You can also click the button in the middle to subscribe.